Hey guys, YouTuber 100 here. Okay, and here we go. Now I'm going to be giving my thoughts on Night 2 of WrestleMania 38. So yeah, so as I'm recording this, the show just ended about like maybe a little over an hour ago. Yeah, and overall, I did think that this was once again a pretty good show. I mean, yeah, this was pretty much like Night 1. I mean, this was overall a pretty solid show. I mean, I can't really think of anything that was really like that bad on the show. Well, maybe except for the main event. Like the main event was like kind of a disappointment, I think. But yeah, I'll get to that later. I'll talk about that when I actually do get to it in this video. Yeah, yeah. But overall, I mean, I did really enjoy the matches tonight for the most part. I mean, yeah, no. None of them really were like boring, and yeah, and I do think that this was overall, like Night 1, this was overall a pretty enjoyable show. Yeah, so I really can't find too much to complain about tonight. I mean, yeah, I mean tonight there were 8 matches. Well, actually 9 matches on the show because yeah, there was like I said last night, like the Usos versus a Sheamus and Rich Holland match was moved to tonight when it was supposed to be last night. Yeah, and there was also like another match that was added, like it was just like an impromptu match, like made just like right after the another certain match ended, which yeah, if you watched the show tonight, you know what I'm talking about. Yeah. So yeah, so there were a total of 9 matches tonight. Yeah, and as far as the results tonight, as far as my predictions went, like yeah, when last night I ended, like the result for my predictions based on the matches that I did predict, I wound up being 3 for 5. Yeah, and then tonight, as far as like my predictions go, I wound up being yeah, tonight I wound up being 3 for 7. So yeah, so tonight for WrestleMania, like I wound up being 3 for 7 matches. So yeah, so that like ends with like me being 6 for 13 matches overall. Oh yeah, yeah. So yeah, I wound up being 6 for 13 in as far as like the entire match card. Yeah. So yeah. So my final result is a 6 for 13. Yeah. But yeah, the matches overall tonight were overall they were like pretty good. I mean, I can't really think of like any match on here that tonight that really was like bad. Well, yeah, like I said, except for the main event. But yeah, I'll get to that later. Yeah. So overall, yeah, I can't really find too much to complain about with this with a tonight's show. Yeah. So yeah, so I guess I'll just like go through like the matches like I did last night. Like I won't really like give like a full summary on the matches. I'll just kind of just like go through the results and just like give like a brief summary of the matches and what I thought of them. All right. So yeah. So the show actually opened up with Triple H coming out. Yeah, and Triple H really just like came out just to say thank you to the fans because of course like just recently Triple H announced his retirement from in-ring competition. Yeah, and then Triple H just like thanked the fans and just like waved to say welcome to WrestleMania. And then Triple H just left his boots in the middle of the ring. So yeah, so it's like this was Triple H's TV farewell, like his like his like farewell to the WWE universe on TV rather than just like announcing it on social media. Yeah. And the first match of this night was the Raw Tag Team title triple threat match with RK Bro against the Street Profits and Alpha Academy. Yeah, and Rated RK Bro won, so yeah, they retained the titles here. Yeah, but yeah, and this was a pretty. I did think that this was pretty good. I mean, yeah, this really wasn't like slow at all. And plus, yeah, I did like the how this match ended with like 2 like RKO's like in the air. Here, how yeah, I think like at one point, well, yeah, one of the RKO's was from Riddle. Well, after he RKO'd one of the Street Profits, and then yeah, then Randy Orton delivered an RKO in midair to Chad Gable to get the win. Yeah, then afterwards, then the Street Profits then were like celebrating with RK Bro, and then they called in this like new guy uh, Gable Steveson, is that his name? Gabe Steveson, something like that. Yeah, apparently like he was like a NCAA champion and Olympic gold medalist, and yeah, Stephanie did like say last night that he would be coming to the WWE. So yeah, they brought him in to like have a toast, and then yeah, then Chad Gable interrupted it, just like went face to face with Gabe Steveson, and then yeah, then eventually then Gabe Steveson just attacked him, and then they then he celebrated with RK Bro and the Street Profits. Yeah, but yeah, this was overall an entertaining match, and I did like it. Yeah. Yeah, and then next up then was Bobby Lashley versus Omos. Yeah, Bobby Lashley surprisingly won. So yeah, so I was surprised about that. Yeah, this match was only about like 6.5 minutes, but yeah, I did think that this was overall like decent for the 6 minutes that it lasted. Yeah, yeah, it wasn't. Yeah, it wasn't just like something where like Omos was just like so dominant over Lashley. Like Lashley did actually like have some good offense here. He actually did pick Omos up, and then yeah, then he then speared Omos to get the win. So yeah, so this was overall a solid match, I think, for the time that it lasted. Yeah. Then the next match was Sami Zayn versus Johnny Knoxville in the Anything Goes match. Johnny Knoxville wound up winning. Yeah, I remember I did say how like I didn't really like Johnny Knoxville competing at this WrestleMania, so this wasn't really a match that was really one of the ones that I was anticipating the most. But I do have to say that they actually did make this like a very entertaining match. Like yeah, they did like bring in like a lot of like jackass elements in the match. Like in the front row, you did have like Jeff Tremaine and a couple other like jackass crew members in the front row. Yeah, and throughout the match, I had a couple points like Chris Pontius and Wee Man. Like actually, got involved in the match. Like they were like doing some jackass style stuff. Like Chris Pontius like had on like his party boy outfit, like getting up to Sami Zayn. Yeah. And Wee Man actually did attack Sami Zayn, and actually picked him up and slammed him. Yeah, yeah, and they did like use like a couple of jackass bits, like the high five. Yeah, then and Johnny Knoxville also like as a Sami Zayn was like down in the corner with his leg split, Johnny Knoxville like rolled a bowling ball right into Sami Zayn's nuts. And also like the ending where like they like had this like huge mouse trap that they like put Sami Zayn in, and then yeah, Johnny Knoxville pinned him. So I have to say that like despite the fact that this wasn't a match I was really looking forward to, they did really make this a very entertaining match. Yeah, so they did at least like make this like took advantage of the fact that this did involve Johnny Knoxville, and they put in a lot of jackass stuff in this match. Yeah, so I do have to say that this definitely did surpass my expectations, and yes, and this was like a really entertaining match. Yeah, yeah. Then next up, then the next match was the Fatal Four Way for the Women's Tag Team Championship with Queen Zelina and Carmella defending against Sasha Banks and Naomi, Rhea Ripley and Liv Morgan, and Natalia and Shayna Baszler. Yeah, yeah, and Sasha Banks and Naomi won, so I got my prediction right on this match. Yeah, so yeah, I mean, it's really tough to really kind of like predict who's going to win like these kinds of matches because yeah, since there's like four teams in here, like it's kind of like hard to predict who will win. But yeah, I got my prediction right. I did predict Sasha Banks and Naomi to win. Yeah, and this was surprisingly a pretty good match right here. Like it was like kind of like hard to really keep track of who was legal throughout in this match because yeah, like there were points where like all eight women like got into the ring and were just like fighting with each other. Yeah, and the spot that I really did like how how there were like I forgot exactly who was where here, but yeah, like two of them were like at the top of the turnbuckle, and then like two tried to like a superplex one, and two tried to superplex the other, and then yeah, then as all that was happening, then Rhea Ripley and Liv Morgan actually like hit a double power bomb on the two women that were superplexing, and so yeah, so all eight of them went down right there. So yeah, so that was a pretty cool spot. Yeah, but yeah, in the end, Sasha Banks and Naomi won. So yeah, so I was glad that I really did get my prediction right because yeah, it was kind of hard to predict that, but yeah, I did get my prediction right. So yeah, so I was glad about that. Yeah. Then next up was Edge versus AJ Styles. Yeah, and Yeah, Edge wound up winning this match. Yeah, I mean, yeah, I did predict AJ Styles to win, but yeah, like I said in my predictions video, like this match really could have gone either way. So I guess I really shouldn't be too upset that I got it wrong because I mean, it was just like it just came down to either one of them. Like it was just really tough to predict who was going to win. But yeah, the winner wound up being Edge. Yeah, but this was just like a really awesome match. I think this was probably the best match of the night. Yeah. Yeah, there was just like a lot of counters in this match, a lot of near falls, a lot of like submission counters, and yeah, I mean this match was just like had everything. Yeah, just like a lot of counters and submission holds and all that stuff. Like, yeah, I mean, I think this match definitely lived up to a lot of people's hype. Yeah, and so this was definitely like really awesome. This awesome, yeah, and then yeah, and the ending was kind of interesting because at the end it showed how Damian Priest was just down at ringside. AJ Styles was like looking at him for a moment, and then yeah, then as he like went and to like hit a dive on Edge, Edge then just speared AJ Styles and pinned him, and then it showed how Damian Priest now was aligned with Edge. So yeah, so Damian Priest aligning with Edge is kind of interesting. Like I'm not really too sure like where they are going to go with this, but and what they're going to do with it, but yeah, we'll just have to see like what WWE actually does do and like what they're gonna do next with Edge. So yeah, but yeah, this was like a really good to great match, and yeah, like I said, this was probably the best match of the show. Yeah, well of the night at least. Yeah, and then next up was the New Day versus Sheamus and Ridge Holland. I didn't actually see this match. Yeah, like I actually like had to go out and do something for a little bit. It like this was actually during the Edge and AJ Styles match. I actually had to go do something. So yeah, so but I had so yeah, so I didn't even like watch the end of the Edge AJ Styles match when it first aired. I had to actually go back and watch it after I got back. Yeah. So I didn't actually see this match, but yeah, this match only lasted like a minute and a half, and yeah, and Sheamus and Rich Holland got the win. So yeah. Then next up was Pat McAfee versus Austin Theory. Pat McAfee won this match. I didn't really like see this either. I mean, yeah, this match was going on like as I was coming back, so I didn't really get to see much of this match. I just kind of like saw the like last minute or so. It just showed Vince McMahon at ringside for, of course, Austin Theory. Yeah, but yeah, Pat McAfee wound up getting the win. But then after that, like as Vince McMahon was just like getting after Austin Theory. Then Pat McAfee was just then calling Vince into the ring, and then yeah, then Vince took off his shirt, revealing like his ring tank top. Yeah. So then yeah, then we just got an impromptu match between Pat McAfee and Vince McMahon, and yeah, and this really was just like a Austin Theory was just cheap shotting Pat McAfee, and then yeah, then eventually then like when Vince punted a football into Pat McAfee's stomach, then Vince wound up pinning Pat McAfee. So yeah, so Vince won this match. Yeah, and then as Pat Austin Theory and Vince McMahon were celebrating, then Stone Cold came out. Yeah, and then yeah, then Stone Cold then just stunned Austin Theory, and Austin Theory just sold the hell out of that stunner. Like he just oversold it. Like he just like jumped all over the place after the stunner. Yeah. And yeah, then Stone Cold and Vince, of course, got face to face. Then, like at first, like Vince just like was wanting to toast a beer to Vince, but then of course, then Vince then got the stunner from Stone Cold for like the millionth time. Yeah, and then Stone Cold was just celebrating with the crowd, and then he called Pat McAfee into the ring, was giving him a couple of beers, and as they were celebrating, Stone Cold then eventually stunned him too. So yeah, so for the second night of WrestleMania, once again, Stone Cold gets like his moment on the show to please the crowd. Yeah, and I think that this was definitely like a better way to get him on the show than what they did last night with like actually having him in a match. Despite the fact that like it wasn't awful, just having Stone Cold wrestle after 19 years, just that's really wasn't a good idea. I don't think. Yeah, but this was much better. Yeah, and I thought it was funny. Like after Pat McAfee got the stunner, like it showed him just like laying on the floor on the outside, like guzzling down the beer still. So that was kind of funny. Yeah, but yeah, a nice way to get Stone Cold on night 2 of WrestleMania this year. Yeah, yeah, and then we had the main event. the unification match to unify the WWE and Universal Championship with Brock Lesnar and Roman Reigns. Yeah. So, like I said, I really felt that this was really like really the only true disappointment of the show because really just this match, I really felt that this really did leave a lot to be desired. I just felt that there was like so much more that should have been done here. Like this match was pretty much like just a finisher fest. Like they were just like hitting each other with their finishers constantly, and they just like kept kicking out and everything. Yeah, yeah. It was just like Roman Reigns hit like a few spears and Superman punches on Brock Lesnar. Then Brock Lesnar hit like numerous suplexes on Roman Reigns. Then hit an F5, and then hit another F5, and then Roman Reigns then like hit a couple other spears and all that stuff. And then Brock Lesnar got the Kimura. And then as Brock Lesnar then went to go for like another F5 on Roman Reigns was able to counter and then gave another spear to Brock Lesnar. And then Roman Reigns won. So yeah, Roman Reigns and was the unified champion now. So I really just feel that this really should have like done so much more. I mean, this match really was like relatively short. This was only like 12 minutes long. I mean, when you expect, given like how big they WWE even like marketed this match, this would have been like at least a 20-minute match. Yeah, but no, they only like did it here. And it's just like just like all these just like a finisher fest here. Like I mean, couldn't they have just like actually like had actual wrestling here? Actually like go at it rather than just like keep on hitting their finishers. Yeah, yeah, and also like just Roman Reigns winning. Just seriously, why do you do this? Like like Roman Reigns winning here just hasn't it been enough time for him, and especially like given like the story between these two ever since Brock Lesnar returned at SummerSlam. Just yeah, I mean Roman Reigns already beat him at Crown Jewel, and given like all the story here with like Paul Heyman like pretending to realign with Brock Lesnar just to turn on him at the Royal Rumble, and Roman Reigns costing Brock Lesnar the WWE title at the Royal Rumble, and just like everything that's happened with them like these last few months, and just for Roman Reigns to win. Like, gosh, I mean, this would have been the perfect time for Brock Lesnar to like get his revenge on Roman Reigns and Paul Heyman, and finally end Roman Reigns' nearly 2-year title reign. So yeah, so I feel that WWE really screwed up here. Like Brock Lesnar, I really feel should have won this match, and he should have been the one to unify the titles and get his revenge on Roman Reigns and Paul Heyman here. But now with Roman Reigns winning, just where do they go from here? Like, what do they even do with Roman Reigns now? Like, just how is this supposed to continue now? So I just really do not know what WWE is going to do next, and just I really feel that they really missed a huge opportunity here. So yeah, so I really feel that that's really like the only like true disappointment of the show. Yeah, but yeah, as far as like the rest of the show, yeah, like I said, it overall was pretty good. I mean, I really can't. There really weren't like any other matches on the show other than the main event that I was disappointed with. I mean, the rest of the matches were overall pretty entertaining. So yeah, so overall, I do think that this was still like a pretty good night. So yeah, so overall, I do think that WrestleMania 38 was overall for on both nights. Yeah, I do think that this was overall a good event, and I do think that this was a good WrestleMania. So yeah, so I definitely do like give this WrestleMania a thumbs up for both nights. Nights, nights. So yeah, I mean, despite the fact that the main event really, well, yeah, the main event tonight really like was a disappointment. Yeah, I still find it hard given like how good like both nights really were to really call this WrestleMania through the two nights a bad show. So yeah, so overall, I do say that this was overall on both nights it was a good WrestleMania, even though like a few things about both nights did disappoint me, such as like last night with Charlotte Flair beating Ronda Rousey, and the stuff with like Stone Cold wrestling, which I wasn't really a fan of, and tonight with Roman Reigns unifying the titles. So yeah, so those are really my only gripes with the show. Well, with this event through the two nights, but yeah, yeah, everything else still was pretty good. Was pretty good. So yeah, so overall, I do think that WrestleMania 38 is a good WrestleMania. So yeah, so I think that WWE did do a good job. Did do good here. All right. So yeah, yeah. Yeah, so yeah, but yeah, as far as like what's gonna happen next with Roman Reigns, I don't know. I mean, is this like setting up something else? Like, are they actually gonna be like having like somebody else try to like take him down next, or like is Brock Lesnar like gonna like is is something gonna happen on Raw tomorrow night, or will something happen like at the next pay per view? Like, I don't know. I guess we're just gonna have to wait and see what happens next. But yeah, it is what it is. I mean, what are we gonna do about it? All right. So there you go. So those are my thoughts on night two of WrestleMania 38 tonight. So yeah, so I hope you guys enjoyed what I had to say about night two tonight. And tomorrow I will be going to see a Morbius. So my next video, I'll be giving my thoughts on the Morbius movie. So stay tuned for that coming up next. All right, but I hope you guys enjoyed this video. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys later.